So I did a video earlier talking about how the Trump administration had appealed to the Supreme Court to avoid paying people for the SNAP benefits. Well, they do have an answer from the Supreme Court. And this is a temporary answer. Now, this was written by Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. And before you go hating on Justice Jackson for what she said, I do understand where she is coming from. She issued a temporary stay of the lower court's ruling, forcing the administration to fund SNAP. And I know that sounds horrible, but her reasoning for it actually does make a little bit of sense. And it's not because she said the judge couldn't do it or that there was no reason for it or anything like that. She basically said the First Circuit Court of Appeals had less than a day to decide what they were going to do. So she directed them to issue some kind of a ruling quickly. But she's giving them a little bit of time to figure out what is going on. Now, the administration has released, apparently, at least according to court filings, the entirety of the emergency fund, and there are other funds they are going to be dipping into in order to get to the point where they have fully funded the month of November. But if this shutdown continues much longer, they're not going to have funds for December. It is going to take Congress to act. Now, we've talked about how Democrats have tried to fund it with continuing resolutions and other measures asking unanimous consent, and Republicans have shut it down. We will see if that changes going forward, and we need to wait. We need to see what happens if they actually release these funds. Some states, like I said earlier, have been able to fund the SNAP benefits with money out of their own coffers, hoping to just be reimbursed basically from the federal government. But I'm not mad at Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson for her ruling on this temporary stay, because it is very temporary. She basically said they need more than 1 day to look at this appeal. And she did not weigh in on any of the merits of the case. It was all about timing. And I understand where she is coming from, even though it is a disappointing ruling. So the Supreme Court has weighed in. We will have to see what the First Circuit Court of Appeals does with this appeal. I figure we may have a decision from them early next week, if not over the weekend, as the administration is still trying to find ways to fully comply. And there is a chance that they come to some kind of a deal and it won't matter anyway, that they'll just fund the government and SNAP will get paid.